you put everything you've got into the land. It's about heritage, hard work, and the promise of a good harvest. We understand that commitment. Our precision aerial application saves you valuable time, giving you more hours back to spend with the ones who matter most. We help you maximize yields and protect your crops, season after season. Advanced technology, efficient coverage, and a dedication to your success. Bradley Air Spray. Precision mapping and professional application. Trust the experts to protect your yield.
Hi, I'm Barry McKeegan at Denham Chrysler Jeep. You might remember me from such commercials as No Bull Sale or Spin to Win. Well, I'm back, and so is the brand new 2026 Jeep Cherokee with an incredible driving range of over 800 kilometers on a single tank. And you don't have to plug it in. The all-new Cherokee offers more room, outstanding safety features, including standard active driving assist and unsurpassed in-class towing. See and drive the all-new 2026 Jeep Cherokee today. We'd love to see you, and here at Denham Chrysler, we're ready to help you now and for every mile down the road.
Local people. Local news and events. Local sports. Local matters. For all things Lloydminster and area, this is Live with Kurt Price.
Welcome to Live with Kurt Price, presented by Harris Electric. Power your business with confidence. Harris Electric brings over 75 years of trusted experience to commercial and agricultural operations of every size. From full installations to ongoing maintenance, Harris Electric delivers solutions that keep you running. Harris Electric. Call 780-875-3336 or at harriselectric.ca. We've got Gerald Aalbers here today, and we're going to be talking about the 2026 oil show at the Lloydminster exhibition this September. Well, there's chuck wagon racing in Dewberry this weekend. The CPCA rolls into Dewberry Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with races at 7 o'clock on Friday and Saturday, and Sunday at 2. The Dewberry Sports Ground is where you'll find everything. Admission is $20 for adults, $10 for youth, with 12 and under getting in for free. And there's also free weekend camping. And this Saturday is the Prairie Mayhem Demolition Derby at the Lloydminster Exhibition. Gates open at noon with the action starting at 1. And Tammy Dick told us the Prairie Mayhem Demolition Derby offers something different for youth.
Last year, unfortunately, I guess the word didn't get out there enough to get that youth class, which is not something that every derby has. So that youth class is 13 to 17. You need a learner's permit and another driver in the vehicle that is licensed. This year, from everything we're hearing, there is going to be a youth class. So we're going to
Father's Day is
Fest literally rolls into Lloydminster on June 19th through 21st at the Kinsman and Border City Connect Society have been working to make this event bigger every single year. There's a puppet show. There's a Circus Delay style show. There's local entertainment and a big concert on Saturday night.
One thing we felt was lacking a bit was a real solid concert style event. To do those nice style concert style events is you need a professional stage. So we worked with Synovus Energy, and they worked with us to bring in a SL100 concert stage like the ones we have in front of the grandstand at the fair.
Oh, that's huge.
Meridian Denture Clinics come in as well to support that. So we're going to have a high quality concert stage sitting on site to see our CCR tribute band, Bad Moon Riders, perform on Saturday night.
Time now for Live in Lloyd, brought to you by the Vic Juba Community Theatre and May Cinema 6.
Father's Day is just around the corner, and if you're looking for the perfect gift for the dad who has everything, we've got a couple great ideas for you. This is Live in Lloyd with Tanis Heinz bringing you the latest from Vic Juba Community Theatre. Here's what's coming up. First up, the Stampeders, one more time on June 18th at 7:30. One of Canada's most iconic rock bands is coming to Lloydminster for an unforgettable night of classic hits. Sing along to favorites like Sweet City Woman, Wild Eyes, Carry Me, Hit the Road Jack, and more. For generations of Canadians, the Stampeders provided the soundtrack to some of life's best memories, and this show is packed with music, stories, and nostalgia that made them legends. Then Hotel California, the original Eagles tribute, takes the stage on Friday, June 19th. For decades, Hotel California has been setting the standard for Eagles tribute shows around the world. You'll hear all the Eagles' biggest hits remarkably recreated, including Hotel California, Take It Easy, Desperado, Life in the Fast Lane, and more. This is more than a concert, it's a celebration of music and memories that continue to bring fans together. Looking ahead, Father's Day is the perfect time to give the gift of live entertainment. Our new Dr. H.A. McDonald season is now on sale, and some great gift ideas for Dad include Aaron Goodvin, April Wine, Brent Butt, and the Alan Jackson Experience. Whether he's into country music, classic rock, comedy, or tribute concerts, there's a show he'll love waiting for him at Vic Juba Community Theatre. Get your tickets now at vicjubatheatre.ca or through the box office. Make it a night out to remember at Vic Juba Community Theatre.
And Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day arrives at May Cinema 6 as one of the most anticipated movies of the year. The truth isn't just out there, it's arriving. When the world finally learns the reality of extraterrestrial life, humanity must decide if it's ready for a first contact. Disclosure Day stars Josh O'Connor and Emily Blunt. Also playing at May Cinema 6, Scary Movie, Backrooms, Masters of the Universe, Obsession, and Star Wars The Mandalorian and Grogu. For tickets and showtimes to all upcoming movies, including Disclosure Day, go to maytheaters.com. Live in Lloyd is brought to you by the Vic Juba Community Theatre and May Cinema 6. We'll be heading out later today to deliver cupcakes to a special caregiver here in Lloydminster. If you know a caregiver that deserves to be recognized for their selflessness and their commitment to their position and the people or person that they take care of, you can nominate them for Cupcakes for Caregivers by sending an email to livewithkurtprice@gmail.com. Cupcakes for Caregivers is brought to you by Lloydminster Sobeys and Umbrella Marketing and Design. BioClean Disaster Services is committed, certified, reliable, and will help you get your life back. 1-833-246-8326. BioClean Disaster Services will take care of your property and your belongings, but more than that, they'll take care of you and your family with top-grade communication. In just 10 years, BioClean Disaster Services has become Lloydminster's largest restoration company, and they've done so by giving back to the community. BioClean Disaster Services, 1-833-246-8326. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to Gerald Aalbers about the 2026 Lloydminster Heavy Oil Show.
At Jason Arden Associates Cooperators, we're proud to be a top-rated local insurance company that offers flexible solutions and expert advice for all your insurance and investment needs. We'll work with you to tailor your insurance specific to your needs, and we offer investment advice that always puts you first. At Cooperators, one of our core values is to give back to the communities that we live in. Thanks to the support of our clients in Lloydminster and area, in 2023, Jason Arden Associates has donated $40,000 to local nonprofits, charities, students, athletes, and other special events. How does your insurance company support our community?
At Lloydminster and District Co-op, membership matters more. Because being part of a co-op means you're connected to something bigger than yourself. From long-held legacy by those who built our communities, to people you call family, friends, and neighbors. When you're a Lloyd Co-op member, you're an owner in a local business that prides itself on purpose alongside profit. You earn cash back, you help support causes that matter most, and you're building a better way of life for the next generation. Membership matters more.
Border City Furniture in downtown Lloydminster is proud to be your 100% locally owned and operated furniture store with a focus on Canadian-made quality furniture. Shop their tremendous selection of beautiful living room sets, stylish sectionals, and comfy recliners. Border City Furniture also offers many different sizes of dinettes, as well as incredible bedroom sets and mattresses. Stop in and see Calvin and Ryan for the best customer service experience in Lloyd. They've got the awards to prove it. Border City Furniture in downtown Lloydminster, where the sale never ends.
At Diamond 7 Meats, we take pride in our quality products and outstanding service. Our custom processing goes far beyond just cutting your meat. There's also a very popular in-store cuts and fresh sausage cooler with all your family's needs and budget in mind. Planning a wedding, family reunion, or weekend get-together? Let us prepare a mouth-watering roast beef, pulled pork, or brisket to perfection just for you. Or take it home and prepare it yourself with one of our incredible Yoder smokers. Diamond 7 Meats, locally owned, family owned, and proudly serving the farm families and communities of the Midwest.
Superior Water specializes in nothing but water, and with over 23 years in the business, they're proud and confident that their water and their service is superior. For iron filters, water softeners, reverse osmosis distillers, chlorine removal, and H2S odor removal, give Superior Water a call at 780-875-6636 or stop and see them at their 57th Avenue location right beside Sheepskin Loft, and stay hydrated with pure, clean water. I drink Superior Water because I like the taste, and after all, it is superior water. Got to go see Dale myself. The light started flashing last night. We ran out of water. So
there you go.
Be making a stop there today. So we are pleased to welcome Gerald Aalbers to the show today. And Gerald's kind of taken off his mayor's hat today, put on his heavy oil show hat, because he works closely with organizing a lot of the heavy oil show, including bringing in a lot of the guest speakers. So Gerald, thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much, Kurt.
So heavy oil show, dates this year?
Dates this year. Opening starts the September 15th. The show runs the 16th and the 17th. Same profile as we've had. The opening Tuesday is the banquet and guests, and the cutting of the chain, as we refer to it, to open the show. The show kicks off the next morning, Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. and then runs till Thursday afternoon.
Is there tickets on sale yet for that?
Yes, they are. You can go to www.lhos.ca and you can buy tickets. You can, for the opening ceremonies, you can buy tickets for the luncheon on Wednesday that we'll talk about, and some other things that way.
Okay, let's talk about your. Do you want to start with the banquet then?
Yeah, the banquet. The banquet is going to be going on, and we're going to also again have a number of guests there. We're going to stay with the fireside chat program, and if people are not familiar with it, it's an opportunity rather than have a guest speaker come up and show slides and things like that and just speak. We have two guest speakers coming to join myself. I got the pleasure of moderating that fireside chat for the last couple oil shows, and they've asked me to do it again, to just literally sit down and talk in a comfortable atmosphere and share knowledge, information, and some maybe future-looking ideas from both industry as well as people on the outside that are directly connected to the industry.
So do you know who that is?
I do. We have two guest speakers. One is Robin Zebak, who is the COO, the Chief Operating Officer for CNRL. CNRL certainly has a huge influence in our area as well, Bonnyville all the way into the oil sands. Robin's got 30 years in the industry, graduate from the U of S, been involved around the world in oil production, but leads CNRL as their Chief Operating Officer today. So we're really excited to have him. And the second person is Heather Exner-Piotr. Heather, now this is where it gets really interesting. She is the fellow and a senior fellow and the director of natural resources, energy, and environment for the Macdonald-Laurier Institute. So she's a Saskatchewan girl that is very well educated, very well spoken and knowledgeable about the industry, and sees that big trends that's going on in the world from that perspective. And we're excited to have her and Robin as our two guest speakers to try and balance someone that's working right in the industry and somebody that's working with the industry, I'd like to say, and beside it from that perspective. So we're excited to have both Heather and Robin.
So that's Tuesday night?
That's Tuesday night. Then we'll have, after that, we'll have the cutting of the chain, and that'll officially open the show.
Last year, you had some special guests on stage. You had one from each province. The premiers were both there for that event.
The premiers were at the opening ceremonies. I don't want to commit them yet. We'll be working closely with their offices and staff to try and have them both here for that. But that leads into Wednesday. So Wednesday, the show opens at 10 a.m. and that's when it's free. People can come on down and see the latest in technology and developments. And I think that's what we speak about so much at the heavy oil show. Our show is unique because producing heavy oil, anybody that's worked in it knows that it can be a little sticky, to say the least, and a little thick. And the technology continues to evolve, to improve. And, just the history is long and deep, and it's going to continue that way. So the show kicks off, as I say, at 10 a.m. We're going to have a ticketed luncheon. So both the Tuesday night event, you have to have a ticket to get in, so you have to purchase it ahead of time, and the Wednesday luncheon. The Wednesday luncheon will feature the two premiers again on stage to talk about the industry from their perspective, and again, the national perspective as well as the international perspective, because both premiers are well versed in all three of those areas. And it's interesting, the discussions that's going on right now. We've seen Premier Smith; she's going to be bringing forward a proposal. I understand July 1st is the date. I've read and heard that she'll bring that forward to the federal government with a route to the West Coast again to get more oil there. We know the market wants Canadian oil, especially Canadian heavy oil. It's just a matter of getting it to the customer, and that's what the Premier's on tap. I know Premier Mo's supporting that, and there's going to be some other interesting developments as we continue to see things evolve in the economic corridor discussion, energy corridor discussion in our country. I had the pleasure to be on a panel last week in Edmonton with Mayor Danny Breen, the mayor of St. John's, Newfoundland, and we both agreed that we've got to sell more Canadian oil to Canadians. That's the simple fact. And how we do that, he shared that first time ever, Hibernia is actually going to send oil to the Irving refinery in New Brunswick, which I'm just going, oh, that took how many years? 1977, I think, is when Hibernia had the first oil produced. So there's some things happening, and I think that our oil show is going to be at a pivotal point to see what things are happening in Canada.
Yeah, it only took 50 years.
Only took 50 years, and that's a long story in itself.
So that's Wednesday. Is the Champion X shrimp oil happening that evening as well?
Champion X shrimp oil is happening on Wednesday night. That's also a ticketed event, and that's more of a social event, right? A long day at the oil show. People want to relax and enjoy a good time. I think there'll be just some light music in the background. I don't believe we have an entertainer picked because a lot of people like to visit, but have a little background music is nice. And the Champion X shrimp oil is scheduled to go on Wednesday night, but it's got to be a ticketed event as well.
And for tickets to the luncheon and the Champion X?
All at www.lhos.ca.
Is the oil show full, Gerald? Like, are your booths full?
We're still taking applications. We're getting close. And don't want to say that no, but we're trying to fill, and we have the ability to enlarge if we need to. Again, we try to make it a complete show, and that there's no voided spaces. Sometimes exhibitors all of a sudden last minute get sick, or there's something comes up in a company. Acquisitions happen every day, and all of a sudden, oh, you can't go because we've been acquired by company XYZ. From that perspective, but no, we still have a few booths left. And again, if you're a vendor and you're interested in getting into our show, you need to apply at www.lhos.ca. Go under application to be an exhibitor, and there's a process, and we just ask you to fill it out, and we'll get you an answer back very shortly. There is a selection process, just so people know. You're not automatically, if you apply, you don't guarantee you get a booth, but we have a very high success rate. But our show is intended to keep it oil and gas related, but also we've tried to branch into the services a little bit that support this great industry. And, it's very important in our community. We have a number of businesses, and we've got some of the auto dealers showing what they're offering to the industry in their latest and greatest. And that's terrific. And other suppliers. And it's not simply, if you don't build something that's oil and gas directly related, you do the bulk of your business with the people that do. And that's some of the criteria we look at.
Is there a section on the website to go to fill out the form?
Yes, there is. It's under exhibitors, and it'll just drop. The drop downs are there, and just follow it through.
Is there anything else about the oil show that I'm forgetting to ask?
Not really. I think that, again, it's this is a biannual show. We often say last year, but it's been 2 years since the show. And I can tell you, it's 2 years disappear. My notebook continues to follow me along from show to show, and it doesn't take long to disappear in time. So, it's encourage people to come out. I encourage oil companies and people that work in the industry. This is your chance to take a couple hours, come down, talk to some folks that you may not see or you may not have met, or just renew new old acquaintances, right? Vendors that have been here over a number of years from that perspective. It's terrific to see, and it's a great opportunity to connect. For people that wonder what goes on each and every day in the oil and gas industry, this is the other time to come down to the show. We've had schools tour through, we've had the colleges send people over, we've had homeschooling groups come trying to learn more about oil and gas, and I think this is the opportunity because government's represented, Saskatchewan Energy and Mine Resources are there, as well as I believe the AER has a booth, so that you can talk to people that deal with that portion from government, as well as, like I say, numerous local businesses that, you know, do a great job of supporting us. The other piece I wanted to mention, we've got two distinct kind of vendors that are going to be unique. Jordan Fleming is going to be having some artwork there. He's taken hundreds of pictures of oil and gas, and he's going to be showcasing that a little bit from that perspective. Jordan's going to be providing our gifts for our speakers, which we appreciate very much. And there's another gentleman that builds some unique lamps tied to oil and gas, mainly in the retailers of former that way. So there's some unique exhibitors that are going to be there showing their wares, and we're excited to do that. That's one of the pieces people give to the community every day, and they want to try and share some of that, and we want to be part of that.
Do you have a second just to stick around?
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
A moment? I have one more question about the oil show, and then I was wondering about gas prices and why they're up and down now.
Okay.
Yep. Do you have time to stick
Sure,
around for a bit?
sure do.
Okay. We'll be right back with Mayor Gerald Aalbers to talk about the heavy oil show.
I'm Brian Zinchuk of PipelineOnline.ca. I used to be a pipeliner, and I've spent the last 15 years reporting on energy in Saskatchewan. PipelineOnline.ca provides comprehensive coverage of light oil, heavy oil, lithium, helium, power production including coal, wind, solar, geothermal, natural gas, and nuclear. There's a lot happening in Saskatchewan's energy sector, and Pipeline Online is there for all of it. No one else comes even close.
How can you help support the oil and gas industry and jobs in Western Canada? The answer is closer than you think. Sell your scrap metals to PWM Steel. PWM sells scrap iron to Evraz, located in Regina. Evraz's #1 customer is the energy sector, building pipes and plates for the oil and gas industry. PWM Steel is your locally owned metal recycler and steel service center in the area. Plus, they're a strong supporter of the community. PWM Steel, your top steel supplier for Alberta and Saskatchewan for 40 years. It's more than just taxes at L&A CPA. Assurance, accounting, retirement planning, estate planning, business consulting, financial consulting, farm program support, and bookkeeping. But yes, there is always taxes. The team at L&A CPA is committed to helping you achieve your best results and will be there to assist you every step of the way. L&A CPA, with offices in Provost, Vermilion, and Lloydminster.
What if your lifestyle could stay as vibrant as you are? Discover Care Freedom Living by Wellings. It's a modern way of living designed for people who want life to feel easier, more connected, and entirely their own. At Wellings of Lloydminster, your days unfold at your pace with spaces that feel modern, welcoming, and full of possibility. Live life on your terms at your own pace at Wellings. Visit Wellings to discover more. 3211 72nd Avenue, Lloydminster, and at wellingsoflloydminster.com. Well, we are pleased to welcome back Gerald Aalbers, talking about the heavy oil show. And I have some questions about the market because it's just absolutely crazy. But just before we get into that, do you find now that things are easier to plan with the heavy oil show or even talk about with the heavy oil show because people are starting to realize we have to take care of ourselves?
You know,
is it changing, Gerald?
A little bit, but you know, the oil show has been a staple. We're well over 40 years, so 20 plus shows under our belts at the oil show committee, and hats off to the original folks that gathered people in a parking lot. I understand. I believe it was Homeco Oil Tools that wanted to showcase some of the new equipment that was coming on the market and what was going on, and it's led to that. And you know, our show's got a deep history of having international guests. Right, when the upgrader was was built, I understand oil production took a jump because they needed more oil, and that's what led to innovation. And that innovation is now spread around the world, from that perspective. And so the show is key. It's not any easier because, we got new volunteers that come in, that get elected to the committee every 2 years. And we try and carry some experience and go from there. But we're looking at new ideas too, to stay relevant from that perspective. Finding guest speakers is not an easy task sometimes, from trying to find people that have relevance to heavy oil, to our community, to the world, and those pieces. So we continue to plug away, but it is a key factor in our community. You look around, and the story is long, and there's some deep history here. I had the pleasure of putting my mayor hat on for a moment, presenting some different business awards or certificates of recognition. Cliff Rose, 40 years, but Cliff Rose has been a part of the oil show for a long time. Everybody that sees us at the oil show, that's thanks to Cliff Rose from Close, gets us dressed for the oil show for the committee. But Precision Contractors, 40 years. That's a lot of dirt work, and you think about how the industry has grown over that time. And there's numerous other businesses that are oil related in our community. Some have been acquired, some are still there, and it's just tremendous to see the longevity our industry has. And this continues to be reborn. I go back to Weyburn when I worked in Weyburn, Saskatchewan, for one of the companies I worked for, and they thought the field that was known as the Pan-Canadian Field, and actually Rio Alta is the name that was originally, I believe, that discovered it and then became Pan-Canadian. They thought they were done, and then you add CO2, carbon capture, and send that down a pipeline and inject it, and they've added 50 more years of life to the industry. So the oil and gas industry seems to continue to be reborn. New discoveries, technology, fracking has changed that entire play. What we're seeing today, these multilateral wells, the efficiency of a drilling rig when it's on location and what they're able to do in a short time, versus now creating 6 leases. They create 1 lease. They set up a drilling rig once, and they do their thing, and it's done. And it would have created 6 leases. The environmental impact is significantly less. The trade-off is there's 5 leases that aren't built by dozer operators. There is 5 leases that rigs aren't moved to. It does have an impact, but you're seeing the industry pivot as it requires to.
Well, and I think one of the problems with the heavy oil show this year might be that guys are too busy. Would that be?
There's always that challenge. And we reach out to the producers and encourage them. And, it's tough because when their work is work, and we're seeing that level of activity is up in our area. And we're really excited about that from that perspective. I think the industry is really excited. It's good for employment. It's good for the businesses direct, and it's good for the businesses that are associated. I think you could walk into any business in town and say, are you a little busier now that the price of oil's up? And they'll say, yes. On the backside that we always seem to discuss, my cost of operation has gone up. Right. Transportation, don't have to go to any grocery store and realize that the food has gone up. A lot of that is attributed to the price of fuel, but other factors as well. But transportation plays a huge role, and it's challenging. Coming before my days at City Hall in the chemical industry in the oil patch, those very chemicals that we sold are derivatives of oil and gas that are used. And I know, talking to the guys, their costs have gone up significantly because it's reflective of the price of oil and gas.
Can you figure out what's going on? Because it's up one day, it's down the next day. It has taken some jumps and some turns, and man, it's just and it all has to do with. I assume it all has to do with what's happening with the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, it does. It does. And I'm looking at it here. This morning, oil started at 91.28 for West Texas Intermediate Crude American. Right now, it's sitting at 87.60. So it's dropped $3.70 this morning.
And full disclosure, we're recording this on Tuesday.
Okay.
Because the mayor has to go on the road.
Yes, back on the road again. But this is a challenge, and oil moves, and it can move $3, $4, $5 a day or more if things really go. And I haven't followed it daily because you can get consumed in it, because it's just, and some people live that every day. The marketers at Adam Water Armin talked about when we were last on about things. There's some people that follow it continuously. It is really confusing because at the end of the day, for most of us, when we go to the retail pump, that's when we talk the price of oil, right? We talk the price of gasoline, and it is challenging, and it's up today to down tomorrow. The rule that I was shared with a long time ago, there's 60 days supply approximately in the pipeline was the number that used to be, and it seemed to go up a lot faster than it comes down, and we'll see when things settle down and where we see that benchmark of price of oil be more stable. It depends on what lens you look at it, because oil and gas drives our economy. It's key, but it's also something that affects each of us in the pocketbook. So what's the right price that brings revenue into the province, especially Alberta and Saskatchewan, and the federal government? And a lot of people don't forget the federal government does really well with the price of oil increase. It amounts to about 9, 10, 12, 15 billion, maybe even a lot more than that. And it kind of got the federal government out of a hole because the price of oil came up. They didn't, their deficit sort of shrank as they're projecting. It's challenging because that affects us each and every day. So what's the right price for oil and gas? $70, $80 a barrel has traditionally kept our folks working, and we didn't see the price of the pump where it is today. There's been other factors that affected that. Nobody wants to pay more than they have to. I loved it when gas was 95 cents a liter, but and that dates me back a little ways. Hell, when people talk about 25 cents a gallon, like that would be a dream, right? Especially diesel fuel for those guys working with it. It's a tool that, it gets into a whole political discussion, or it can. Why do we tax the heck out of something that we need to live? And be it your natural gas that heats your home, be it your electricity, be it your fuel to get you to work, to get our groceries here, to get grain to get the grain seeded, get the grain to the elevator. It drives the locomotives that hauls it to the coast. The tankers that are running, tankers and grain freighters, they're burning diesel fuel. Energy, carbon, fossil fuels drives our world since the Industrial Revolution, and it hasn't changed.
Do you understand this? Because watching from the outside and not being directly in the oil and gas industry, it really frustrated me to see that all of a sudden we're okay to sell natural gas to Germany. Why there was no, what did they say? No business model.
Yeah, there was no business case.
2-3 years ago.
No business case.
And now, no business case. And now, from the outside looking in, do we not look on the world stage like clowns? I feel like people are laughing at us, oh, there was no business case. Now all of a sudden the government has not changed.
The government has not changed. It's the same party. It's the leader. The leader has changed. We have a new prime minister. He sent a different direction. We have a new minister of natural resources, Tim Hodson. A few things have changed, but you're right. It's strange. It does. It's big time. And again, during the conversation I had at the Energy for a Secure Future conference in Edmonton last week, that I had the pleasure to speak at, and speaking with Mayor Danny Breen from Newfoundland, I said we'd love to stretch a piece of pipe out to the East Coast and sell natural gas, which is a lot shorter to get to Germany than it is to have to take it to Vancouver or wherever we take it on the West Coast. Take it down to the Panama Canal and take it through. And a story that I came across a long time ago, I got to share this because it's a repeat. In 1973, during the oil embargo, and I was a young guy, just like you were, it didn't mean much to me then, but it means an awful lot now. Oh, okay, we'll not go there right now. In 1973, the oil embargo that happened when OPEC shut off the world and wanted to say, you've got to listen to us. Oil that was shipped out of Alberta down then the Trans Mountain Pipeline, the first one that was built in a very short time, a year and a half, if I understand correctly, when things got done in this country, shipped oil to Burnaby. A Greek tanker with a Greek captain and first officer loaded a load of oil. And where were they destined to? Back around to Sarnia to get to the refineries in Eastern Canada. They had to go through the Panama Canal. And the article that I believe it was the National Post had it, the Greek first officer says to the captain, why a beautiful country like Canada we are hauling their oil around rather than sending it across. And the Greek captain says, it is not for us to debate Canadian politics. We are ocean-going people, and we will carry the freight wherever it needs to go. But it made no sense in 1973, and here we are, 2026, and we still do not have Eastern Canadians consuming a product in Canada. They might be eating Western grown wheat in their loaf of bread and the pasta of Durham, I sure hope, but they haven't figured out the energy that they're burning and produced in Western Canada is not being used in Eastern Canada. The Irving refinery, they're buying on the world market. Heck, they could be buying Canadian heavy oil that's made its way through the Keystone, the existing Keystone, down to the Gulf Coast and loading it there and bringing it back to Irving. So that could be Canadian oil potentially, or it could be coming from somewhere else in the world. The refineries in Quebec. And like I just said, we talked about Hibernia. Where's that Hibernia oil been going? It's been going on a tanker and sent somewhere in the world, but it wasn't going to Irving's refinery in New Brunswick, which is, you can draw a line from one to the other very quickly. It is really frustrating for our country because that's really what it comes down to, and the governments that haven't taken that full step. And, it's really hard because then it gets into other questions, because I've had the opportunity to be on one radio show in Quebec. They reached out and talked about Alberta, and some of the feelings that some people have about Quebec are also shared by Quebecers about Alberta, because we don't have a PST and they can't believe that. Yet if you look at the budgets, how much of that equalization money that comes from our natural resources feeds the Quebec budget, it's astronomical, but we don't like to talk about that. And maybe that's something we need to talk about each and every day. And it's more complex. I've made it very simplistic, and I'm no expert, but I've followed enough of it that, we need to have the conversations. We have them regularly about municipal taxes and those kind of things, but we seem to get lost once there, because it's just like a funnel. It's just, you're getting so big. Where does it end? But it is a challenge that we cannot send Canadian natural resources, namely oil and gas, to across the country as well as export. And I am really excited to go back to it, to see Germany taking Canadian natural gas, but darn it, we could have been shipping it a long time ago, and it should have went. The lines got partway there, right? Ontario, the Trans-Canada or TC Energy line that's been around for a long time is supplying natural gas to Ontario, but it kind of ends there. And there's this disconnect that Quebec doesn't need hydrocarbon, but I've had the pleasure of being in Quebec. Yeah, they do need hydrocarbon to run their vehicles. Granted, once I got outside of Quebec City, everybody burns wood. We don't talk about carbon there, but that's another discussion. But a lot of wood lots, a lot of people had wood heat, which is a great heat. It's a beautiful heat. But don't say you don't need gas, because those trees just didn't make its way to the woodlot without a chainsaw, without a skidder possibly. Energy in the form of fossil fuels is in everybody's life.
Appreciate that. We're back with you next week. Got a lot of fun stuff coming up, including something I'm really excited about. Marwayne is celebrating a big anniversary. So we're going to be talking to the community of Marwayne about their plans to celebrate their 100th anniversary, which is coming up here right away. And we've got a whole bunch more planned as well. It's Seniors Week. So coming up when we're at Border City Furniture, we plan on talking to 3 seniors about back in the day here in Lloydminster as well. Have a fantastic week and enjoy the Demolition Derby. I will see you there.